leadership. And we will now yield 5 minutes to Mr. Josh Brecheen from Oklahoma.
Man, I don't know what to say to that. Wow. I appreciate the chairman from Southern Oklahoma for holding this very important committee. And Mr. Walker, as I expressed to you, I've been reading about you for decades. Not as familiar as I need to be with your meaningful work as head of the GAO. So I'm going to take the opportunity I have to highlight you. And I want to do that because we have, I think, really a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity here. As I've been following this thing for 20 years and the spending increase, there is the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity with what just happened in an election, and two gentlemen that are holding the banner for efficiency from the free market, the Doge Commission with Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy. And my great hope is they don't miss the timelines that Congress is going to present in the reconciliation process, because I think that it's something I'm trying to impress upon them, and I hope all of our colleagues are. I hope that we're not setting them up for failure, that they have to know there's 53 senators, and if we're going to get real spending restraint in tandem with the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, reconciliation, the fancy way of saying it only takes 50 votes in the Senate, not 60, is an opportunity that may not come around with the enthusiasm that's there that they can popularize. So I want to highlight you. Would you go back over your resume of what you did when it wasn't nearly this popular decades ago to start restraining the growth of spending? Can you highlight what you had shared with Ron Estes, what your work at GAO, and give everyone kind of an education on what GAO does?
Well, GAO is in the legislative branch, as you know. It's the largest legislative branch agency. It's in the performance and accountability business. It's to improve the performance and assure the accountability of government for the benefit of the American people. It helps the Congress oversee the executive branch. It does financial audits, performance audits, program evaluations, policy analyses, legal research and adjudications, and a variety of other things. It is nonpartisan, staunchly nonpartisan, non-ideological, fair and balanced. It calls it like he sees it. It's focused overwhelmingly on the organization and operations of government. It's in the oversight, insight, and foresight business. And when I was there, I came in, it had been in business since 1921. I came in 1998, no strategic plan. By the way, the U.S. government still doesn't have one. And it's been in business since 1789. We put together a strategic plan. We totally transformed the agency. I eliminated a third of the offices. I eliminated a layer of management, consolidated 35 units into 13, leveraged technology, leveraged a variety of other things, changed our performance metrics, measurement reward systems, our communications with Congress. We were 15% smaller, or a third less footprint, 50 to 100% more productive, 3 times the outcome-based results. We generated $110 for every dollar invested in the agency. Nobody in the government's anywhere close to that. And yet we were the second best place to work in the federal government, 95% positive rating for the Congress. What we did there is transferable and scalable to the executive branch, all right? And I hope that the Doge will end up learning some of those lessons, as long as the other good work that GAO does, like the high-risk list, duplication, overlap, redundancy, along with the IGs, the improper payments, they can save several $100 billion a year if they go it the right way. I'm concerned about one thing. They got to define their scope, and so far they don't have anybody that's associated with them that really has absolutely transformed anything in government. And there's a huge difference between the private sector and the government. There's a lot of transferable skills, but there's a huge difference.
I wanted to highlight you for a reason. I think it's important that your context and your experience be tapped. I'll be encouraging that where I have opportunity. You have a chance to travel now and go into states and excite people about government efficiency. How many states have you been in?
Well, I've done citizen education engagement in 47 states plus D.C. I've only got 3 I hadn't done it in, but I've been to the states. I just hadn't done that.
And what are you hearing from the public? Because I think this is important.
The public's way ahead of the politics. They know you can't spend more money than you make, charge with a credit card without a day of reckoning. I got 77 to 97% support for tax reforms, Social Security reforms, Medicare, Medicaid, healthcare, defense, government organization operations, and political reform. 77 to 97%.
And the ability for our discretionary budget to be able to do what GAO does. Most people don't realize GAO makes recommendations of where all other agencies can reform their spending practices. One of the things that I think you were instrumental in doing is making sure the GAO zeroes in on duplication of government. My 15 seconds, I'm over. Can you land the plane and talk about why we're not doing what GAO has been recommending for years,
Well,
on duplication?
You know, all GAO can do is make recommendations, but Congress or the president or both have to act on it, and that's the problem. It's the difference between strategy and implementation. Implementation is 85+% of success or failure, and that's where the problem is.
I yield, Mr. Chairman.
Thank the
Thank you.